Hey everybody, I'm Kevin, and I'm not childish. But I do wonder how much better than childish I am. I was looking at some arguing that some people had gotten into, and I thought to myself, this really is about the same as debating. In both cases, what do you really accomplish? Now, when I talk about debating, I'm talking about where it's a competition, and you got two teams, and you got some kind of subject, and then there you have one team is we'll call them pro, and the other's con, or one's left, one's right, one's good, one's bad, etc. And then the two teams compete against each other to see who can give the most convincing argument for their views. Now, once they're all done, of course, the goal is to win. And that means you have to have a loser. And that's really all they care about. They just want to be the one that goes home with the trophy. Now, suppose the subject is of some importance and there's some good ideas that have been spread or thrown around. What happens to them? Do the teams do anything about it? As far as I know, they accept their trophy, they go out and celebrate, they add it to their resume that they were on the winning side. But is the world any better? Are they going to actually put action to all those words? Does the other team agree with them? Of course, many times in a debate, the team is debating an issue where they don't even agree with what they're saying. Sort of like a lawyer defends the person even though they know they're guilty. Tries to get them off with no sentence or, a not guilty plea when they know that they're guilty. So, anyway, I started seeing that this looks the same as arguing. And then I started thinking, who wins at an argument? Does either side win? I don't know that I've ever seen a real winner. Maybe one side gets their way, but they have a win-lose situation, which I've learned that if I can get a win-win, that's a lot better scenario than a win-lose. So how do you win an argument? I've always found that if I say the same thing over and over and over again, well, actually I've found that it doesn't accomplish anything, but that's what we do. We just keep telling them the same thing over and over. Maybe they're arguing because they don't understand what we're saying. Maybe we need to change the way we say it, the words we use, ask them why they don't agree with us. Of course, they could be childish and just want their own way, and in that case, again, the chances of winning are slim. I've noticed some people, they talk louder. In fact, they're not talking anymore. They're shouting. They're screaming. It's blood-curdling noise coming out of their mouth. They threaten. They threaten them verbally. They might even threaten them physically. They may actually physically abuse them. But certainly, either side is not going to try the other's way of doing things. So, what have you accomplished in the end? Nothing. I was talking about win-lose. Well, how could you make it a win-win? Yes, it takes some time and thought to do that. But if you can get the other person's involvement, if you go to them, explain the problem before you give them the solution, it's much better. Or you even go and try their way first. Give them some room to try something. I had a situation when I was managing people. This one gentleman wanted to try to build this fixture for holding these parts that we had to machine. Based on what he told me, I was sure it wouldn't work. But there was a couple things. One, maybe I misinterpreted what he was saying. Two, he was a very proud person, and so he definitely would not have accepted me telling him no, that he couldn't do it, that he had to do it the way I wanted. And three, it would teach him about mechanisms. If he tried this, if it works, well, that's great. If it doesn't work, okay, I've lost a couple of hours of work. I've paid a man to do something that's not going to work. It happens all the time. But at this point, he's now smarter. And he's going to be more willing to listen to me, I hope. So anyway, I let him go ahead and try. In this case, he did fail. He came to me afterwards and he started talking to me about it, why it didn't work and things like that. And I said, all right. And he looks at me and he says, you knew it all along, didn't you? I said, well, I thought I did. And I said, but I've been taught that, we got to give people room to try. He says, because I would have been mad at you if you didn't let me. I said, exactly. He says, in fact, I would have gone ahead and done it anyway. I said, I would have expected that of you, yes. He says, so you just let me do it and waste company money. I said, no. I said, you learned something, and now we have a better relationship. And I respect your intelligence. I could have been wrong. So we worked things out, and it was a win-win. From there, we worked better together, and we did come up with a solution, and it took both of us to do it. So try that instead of arguing. And if you're going to debate, do something with what you accomplish. Don't just waste words. Thanks for listening.